Hello, 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 and welcome to the Sunday League Pundit Show, episode 25. There's so much to talk about this week, so I'm going to go straight to JimJam, the stat man. Do we have a stat?
We do, and it's a request stat, because you had a request last week to know what
I did. I wanted to compare Raya and Ramsdale's save percentage.
So, Aaron Ramsdale last season conceded 43 goals over the course of the season, facing 138 shots, saving 95 of them. In the games he kept a clean sheet, he faced 31 shots, 2 games in which was a shutout, where he didn't have to face a shot. So the games that he kept clean sheets, he did actually have to do it, including a game where he saved 7 and a game where he saved 5 as well. A couple of man of match performances in there, I will say that. So his save percentage in the games that he conceded. So Raya's was
55.8, I believe.
Yeah, so Ramsdale's is 60.4.
I must say I'm amazed that Ramsdale is better than Raya.
I'm actually surprised it's that low.
I'm shocked it's that
And he
low.
kept 14 clean sheets last season as well. I can't remember if I said that. So,
The thing is, though, this is where it's important.
and he had a worse defence in front of him.
Yeah.
He had to face more.
A lot more.
Yeah, but can we have the stat for the game's percentage of saves when you look at the clean sheet ones?
This with the clean sheet, 68.8, which is nearly, that'd be towards the top.
That would be twice what David Raya's was nearly.
Yeah.
Raya was shocking.
Yeah. So all in all, Ramsdale last season, as a saving goalkeeper, so goalkeepers that make saves, is performing better. Raya is performing worse than Raya was last season in the saving department.
I'm shocked.
Because we don't care about kicking so much. Well, we only hope they kick it, which is something that the Burnley goalkeeper failed to do this week.
Yeah, he did. I'll bet Ramsdale's still ahead of Raya. Anyway, right, so we've got me stat, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you very much for that. And it's something that first I knew was going to happen anyway. So, play the music.
Like and subscribe.
Welcome to episode 25 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. We are enjoying ourselves. We've had a lot of interaction this week. A lot of it good, a lot of it not so good. Yeah. And for those people that are messaging us, by the way, saying that, we look like we've got diabetes and we look like we're overweight and this, that, and the other, right? The reason we look like we're a bit overweight is because we're overweight. And overweight people are aware they're overweight and aren't asked whether you tell us or not. So you're welcome.
Doesn't change anything.
No.
If I want to have a burger for tea, I'm going to have a burger for tea.
Damn right.
Don't make friends with salads.
Probably too.
You're not going to turn up to... If somebody has a barbecue, you're going to be there, aren't you?
100%.
Want to come to my salad party?
No.
Right,
so I would like... I've got a lot that I'd like to talk about actually this week. First and foremost, I'd like to say that we give our very, very best to the family members and friends of Joe Kinnear, who passed away last Sunday just after we did the podcast. So we send our utmost respect to anybody that is involved with Joe Kinnear in his life, because it sucks and it's not good. He was genuinely a legend of the game. And if anybody watched football through the 90s, you could not get through football in the 90s without hearing the name Joe Kinnear, because he was always there.
I mean, I only ever remembered him as a manager.
I did, yeah.
But then my dad said he was a good player as well.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about his playing career, but as a manager and as, more importantly, an interviewee, guy was brilliant. I absolutely loved him. Yeah. I loved him. So yeah, sad news. It's coming to us all, but it's never nice to hear, is it? Next bit of news is Sheffield United will be deducted 2 points at the start of next season once they get relegated for failure to meet payment deadlines to other clubs.
Yeah.
But it's a championship only thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like they're going to appeal theirs because they've worked with the EFL or whoever's given the point deductions to determine their punishment for next season, which is interesting that it's going into next season, but did you notice the other thing that they said? That they'll start with a 2 point deduction in next season in the EFL.
Yeah.
So they...
Because it's to do with the EFL rules, though, isn't it?
But they're not relegated yet. But they said they'll start it when they're in the Championship next season. So they kind of just said we'll be in the Championship next season. We know that they are.
Yeah.
But it was surprising to hear the club kind of
they
accept the fact that they've been relegated already. And I thought that was really interesting wording. And I'm sure some of the fans probably not too happy.
They're probably not, but I reckon even the fans are looking at it going, well, we all know that we're going down. To be fair,
2 points isn't a lot. Now, 2 points seems to be the deduction now because we know that the bullshit decision that I think Everton just got another 2 points, wasn't it? Was it two?
Only
2 points.
So they're standing there arguing it and fighting it, but they're getting the same privileged little 2 points from the people that actually went, you know what? Yeah, we fucked up. It's our fault.
Yeah.
So it
Everton,
sounds like,
whilst arguing it, I'm going to be, oh no, only 2 points. Piss off. Sorry.
But now, we gave props to Nottingham Forest last time because it sounded like they were just doing what they can. Gave them all the evidence. They were going to accept their punishment. Yeah. They've appealed their points deduction, which means that they will probably... by the sounds of it, they're going to get 2 points back, I reckon, and have 2 points deducted because it now seems like if you mess up financially, the punishment is now 2 points. Now it seems like the bosses have gone out there and gone, right, we're going to hit the teams really hard. 10 points. Oh no, now we're going to reduce some points now, and the points have got less and less and less to the point now where. If Sheffield United, I don't think they can appeal because they've worked with the club to come up with their own punishment. It sounds like they've worked together for their punishment.
It does sound a little bit like that.
So now it's getting to a point that if somebody gets deducted 2 points now, what if they appeal? Are they just going to get unpunished now?
Possibly.
Just a fine, which is exactly back where it all started.
Yeah, pretty much.
So basically,
isn't that the way it goes
the whole
anyway?
Point deduction thing now is pointless.
That's the way the whole football
fair play that they went out
works,
and they hit Everton hard at the beginning, but they didn't stick with it. And now it's just getting less and less. So clubs are just going to go, and clubs are just going to overspend. It's like, okay, we'll overspend now and we'll only get a 2 point deduction. All we've got to do is win a game and it's over.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much.
So, yeah. So, that's it. Funny enough, that's the first thing I wrote in my book as well.
Yeah, that was one of the first things. I'm going to take less joy in this as Arsenal have just been beaten 2-0 by quite a poor Aston Villa because we've got an even more poor, or should I say absolutely shit goalkeeper and a non-existent left-back.
Yeah.
He was actually playing fucking right back when we scored the first.
So the first goal...
And before you pulled your face as soon as I said a shit goalkeeper. Have you seen the goals?
Yes.
And you're not going to blame Raya for the second one, even though he was sat on his arse long before Watkins even took the
So he's got two choices, really.
The top of him.
Yeah, he's got two choices. He can come flying out of his area and clatter him.
Exactly what I would have done. As long as you hit the ball first, as a keeper, you're safe as houses.
Yeah.
As long as you touch that ball first, you're laughing as a goalkeeper.
Or, not this day and age.
No, you can fine.
No,
or make yourself big.
No, we've seen it plenty of times.
Just do a Schmeichel.
No, we've seen
just come out and spread yourself.
We've seen it plenty of times. And it's been done plenty of times. For example, Liam Cooper versus Man City. Clears the ball, but because his foot's high and the player Aki ran onto it, he got sent off.
Okay.
So no.
So
whether you win the ball or not, it's got fuck all to do with it.
Let's say that's fine. right? He was sat down before Watkins even decided what he was doing with the ball.
He was positioned in a position to try and give himself the best chance. Whilst
Definitely not the best chance.
Who was it? Smith Rowe was jostling with Watkins.
Smith Rowe was the furthest one back.
Yeah.
See, there's your problem.
He should have been up front at that point.
Yeah, no, but that's your problem. That's your problem. Not Raya, because his positioning was fine. He got caught a little bit in the middle because he had to try.
Do you know who's normally the last one back? Ben White. He's been subbed.
Yeah, but But I'm sorry, you're blaming Raya for Arteta's problem. You're blaming Raya
no,
for the fact that Gabriel isn't anywhere near his position.
If you'd been here, you would know that I've just absolutely annihilated Arteta during the
Yeah, so that's fine. What I'm saying is, don't stand there saying that it's Raya's fault.
The first goal, Raya poor positioning, Zinchenko completely out of position, and Martinelli lazy at the back.
If you could, my number one blame for the first goal today was Zinchenko. He was 30 yards out of position, and had he been stood at left back, that would never have happened.
Okay, number two's problem. No, number two was Martinelli. He was not tracking any play. He was not covering at the back, and he stood there.
On the first one has put himself in a position and tries to block the potential shot that's coming in. The cross is coming in, the player's coming into him, and he's positioned himself to block it off. The player doesn't get the contact and it goes past him. I'm sorry, Raya's done nothing wrong there.
Yeah, I think he should.
You're going to, because you've got such an agenda against it.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I don't even deny it.
He's done absolutely nothing wrong. I'm sorry. He's literally preempted a shot, so he's moved himself into position for
to
the
be
shot.
fair, had Zinchenko been in position, this wouldn't even be fucking discussed.
Or Martinelli tracked his player.
Exactly.
No, but Zinchenko should have been a left back.
Yeah, but the point
he is a left back. And then none of this would have happened.
Yeah, but the point still remains. You're trying to blame Raya for two goals that weren't his fault.
No. What I've said is the first one to blame for the first goal is Zinchenko, 100%. That goal is Zinchenko's fault. There's no two ways about it. The second one, 100% is Raya's fault. You should not go down that early as a goalkeeper, ever. Ever should you go down that early. That was ridiculous. And that was Raya's fault. Yes, we should have had a defender defending and not Smith Rowe. Although Smith Rowe, he put some effort in, he's not a defender. But you should never hit the floor that early. You would never fucking save a one-on-one with us if you went down that early. Not a fucking chance in the world. But you do save one-on-ones because you stay on your feet.
Yeah, I don't know. If you thought
you're a better goalkeeper than David Raya. I'm sorry, you are.
No.
When we go one-on-one, you stay up. You only go down after I've hit the ball.
Yeah.
Raya went down at least a full second and a half before Watkins even got his foot on the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so easy. I'm fucking fuming with it. So I can't take as much joy in the Liverpool 0 Atlanta 3 as I want to because we've made no progress at all. Liverpool then got beat by Crystal Palace today 1-0. Now, I've been saying for months and months and months that Liverpool are not the team they're being made out to be. They're not as good as people are saying they are, and they don't deserve Luton game. They did not deserve the last-minute winner. Or was it an equaliser? Whatever the fuck it was, they didn't deserve it. Forest, they only got that because the referee did the wrong thing and gave the ball to the wrong team. Right, they've scraped past games this season, and I still don't think they're going to win.
I think it was all. I said it to you. I think that it purely on Liverpool winning the quadruple was based on the fact that it's sod's law. It would be Klopp's last season, and it would just be unbearable for us as fans of any other club to live with it. And I'm glad that it's fallen apart because
I'm so glad it's fallen apart
because I don't get how. Because they probably will put a statue up for him outside Anfield. And how can they put a statue up for a manager that's won so little, and in his last season where he had a chance to win a quadruple, he might only win a Carabao Cup? Which most seasons the fans call it a Mickey Mouse trophy, which they're already starting to call the Europa League.
It was a Mickey Mouse, a Tin Pot Cup. When Man United won it, but because they've won it, it's the best, most important cup in England.
For me, I think all the cups are important, including the Community Shield, and I've made no secret about that. I see them all as trophies.
Still a trophy.
I see them all as trophies, and I see them all as important.
I know I didn't include it when I did that trophy thing the other week. I could have done, and I do think it's a trophy. It's the first trophy of the season. Yeah. You win silverware. It's a trip to Wembley. It's a big deal.
No, technically,
it's not a friendly. It's not a friendly at all.
Well, so far as yellow cards and red, it does count as a friendly. It doesn't go the same way as a league game would.
Oh,
It doesn't act the same way as a league.
So if you get sent off,
technically it's a friendly.
Depends what you get sent off for.
Yeah, I think if it's horrendous, then they might.
Yeah, because I know that in a friendly, if you do some sort of assault or something,
I think if it's really bad, they look at it. So I think technically it's friendly, but for me, the Community Shield is a trophy regardless.
So as we touched upon Europe and that, so there was big letdown in Europe and stuff. So I'll start off with one of the points that is that obviously right now, away goals rules don't count anymore in the European
I'm not a
trophies.
fan. I'm not a fan.
And the point that got me was I think that sometimes it's nice to see, because sometimes I do like extra time and penalties, and then sometimes I'm like, oh, the team's won on away goals rules. But then I just heard a valid point that Man City have gone to Real Madrid and they've drawn 3-3.
Yeah.
It might as well have been 0-0.
Yeah.
It's the same impact. And that goes with Arsenal, Bayern 2-2.
Yeah.
Might as well be 0-0.
Pointless.
There's no advantage there at all. So you've got, 10 goals there in them 2 games, and they
mean nothing.
It's just the same as 0-0. So maybe away goals should actually still count.
Your opinion, Tim? Away goals, good or bad? Yes, right now for the away goal rule.
No.
You don't like it?
No.
I'm for the away goals rule.
I'm kind of for it now. Now when I heard that point of the 2-2 and the 3-3, once that point was made, before I'd have gone, get rid of it and stuff like that. I think it's unfair that a team can go through by drawing. I think, you know what? It just makes more effort for the away side to actually go score some goals. Whereas right now, you might as well get a 0-0, because if you draw 5-5, no advantage.
It doesn't mean anything.
Means absolutely nothing in a draw.
I'm with it.
So obviously your game ended 2-2, and there were 2 controversial moments in that game where there were 2 penalty claims for both sides. One of them was a definite penalty, and the other one I don't think was. So Bayern Munich should have had a penalty because Arsenal fucked up.
What I will say is
Raya took a goal kick after the whistle was blown. Gabriel then picked up the ball and took it again. And the referee saw it and said, I'm not going to give that decision. It's a kid's mistake. I'm not going to do it in the Champions League quarter-final. Absolutely, you should do it in the Champions League quarter-final, because he shouldn't make mistakes. Even if there was confusion there, he blew the whistle. He blew the whistle, and Raya took the goal kick and he handled the ball. And the Bayern players playing for it.
It was a penalty.
Yeah.
But I can see why it wasn't given. And the reason I can see why it wasn't given, because so many keepers these days fuck about and pass it to the fullback, so the fullback can then put it on the floor and pass it back. So I get why it wasn't given.
Yeah.
But technically,
it was on the line, he blew his whistle and he kicked it.
And it was on the line long enough
to
be judged as you're going to take this goal kick.
And he blew the whistle and he kicked it.
And then
Gabriel.
But I get why it wasn't given.
Yeah.
And it's because there's too much pissing about. Do you know what I want to do? Because it's, for me, the most pointless fucking rules we've brought into football ever.
The players can be in the goal box.
Why are the players allowed in the fucking box when the keeper's taking a goal kick? Why?
Because you
get out of the fucking box. Nobody's allowed in the 18-yard box anymore, other than the goalkeeper. What was that rule brought in for?
I don't know.
More fluidity.
All I would like to say is I wish that fucking rule existed 10 years ago.
Pointless.
Yeah, but and then Saka went down in the last minute, and I'm sorry,
he could have won that game.
Saka.
He could have won that game. He could have won that game.
He dived.
It should have been a yellow card.
He dived. He stuck his foot into the goalkeeper. No, not a penalty.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah, he kicked the goalkeeper. He hurt himself.
Good. Don't fucking do it again.
But he should have gone round him and shot.
He could have won that game for us.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have even taken much, because guess what? The fucking goal would have been empty. It would have been an empty net because the keeper was out. I was so annoyed with it. Penalty. It's not a penalty. Something close to being a penalty.
So, because obviously we've just done a watch-along, and those that have watched a watch-along, this is exactly what we were talking about during the game I was going to go to, where I said we're going to talk about the incidents. So, this is where we did mention it upon that the Man United, when they conceded a penalty to Liverpool, again, died from Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it was a foul."
Have you seen it?
Wan-Bissaka. He saw it. He was here.
I was here.
No, but has
So,
you seen the
really
things, the clips that
since-
have come up since?
Wan-Bissaka,
Definite
poor
guy.
challenge, and he really threw his leg out, but he missed the player. He
Didn't
missed the
touch
ball. He missed the player.
Yeah.
But Harvey Elliott had more than
Definite.
enough time to move out the way or whatever, and Harvey Elliott deliberately was going down and put his foot there.
No. See, remember when I pointed this out at Liverpool versus Edison,
Yeah.
and Darwin Núñez was already diving through the air with his connection, and you said, in the run rules, that's a penalty. Oh, dive. There you go. I'm sorry, every time we come across this now, I'm just going to go on what you said at the time, because whenever I bring it up, you go, "Oh no, that's all right." But
No, we've never said that. We all agreed that
it's just bollocks.
Núñez was going down before.
Yeah. So
And we said it is a penalty in that day. And unfortunately, it is a penalty in that one.
I don't think it was with Elliot because I'm not sure there was any contact.
There is.
There is contact because he threw the contact into him.
Absolutely ridiculous.
So,
but then, like I say, the Saka one was never a penalty. The Harvey Elliott one was never a penalty. I don't understand why they would give it. I don't understand why VAR can't spot the fact that it wasn't a penalty. It's just embarrassing. At least they got the Saka one right and didn't give him a
so midweek game, bloody hell, Leeds got screwed against Sunderland.
Hang on, can we go back the whole game to the COV game? Now, I joked and said there seems to be an agenda with the FA trying to keep Leeds in the Championship because we're their fucking cash cow. But in the COV game, we had the handball. I sent you the photo.
That's Coventry for anyone that is struggling.
Yeah, Coventry. I sent you the photo. How the ref fucking missed that is beyond me. I mean, if I'd made that save as a goalkeeper, I'd have been fucking happy. That cross has come in, and he's dived to the ground, and he's palmed it away with his hands. The ref can clearly see it. He's, 12 yards at most? He's not much. He can blatantly see it. I've sent you the photo, so if you want to tag it to this comment, please do. Ref doesn't give it. Then we play Sunderland. 2 blatant handballs.
Oh, yeah.
The referee can see both of them, and if the referee can't see the second one, the fucking linesman can. But he doesn't.
The second one was harder to spot than the third. The first, the position of the referee, and the player leaned over and then stuck his elbow out. Penalty all day long. It was so easy.
Yeah.
It was so easy to give that penalty. The second one, you can understand in real time how he may have missed it if he didn't see his hand there. But
that whole arm up in the air waving it.
But 09, what a save.
The best part was, afterwards, he's shaking his hand because it hurts. And it's just like, the player's actually holding his hand and doing that.
Yeah.
So, how the refs missed it, I don't know. But again, they fucked us. And then, in the Blackburn game, fair play, Blackburn beat us. I'm not going to make too many excuses. But when they are time wasted to the point where their goalkeeper gets booked for it, and we got 1 minute of injury time in the first half, and you knew it was bollocks because everybody in the stadium was booing. Everyone was kicking off. Our assistant manager got sent off because he was complaining about the time wasted. They time wasted continuously, and the referee did fuck all about it.
That's getting annoying.
There was a shirt pull and yank on Bamford in the area. Yes, Bamford's gone down easy. I'm not going to say he didn't. But the guy's got his fucking shirt, and the other guy stepped across him. They've completely shut him out. Referee's 5 feet away. Nothing. They are desperately fucking us over because they need our revenue. Look at how many of our games are on TV. Look at how often our games get moved to be on TV. I don't know for a fact, but I bet you if you go and look at how many teams get television, we've been the most.
There's going to be a hell of a lot more
Statman.
games next season.
One for you, Statman.
Leeds are more often on TV more than anything. Southampton were at the start of the season, but we're not in the automatic promotion contention anymore. We've been taken off TV now. We're playoff contenders now. We're playoff contenders.
At this point, I would like to interject quickly and just say Darryl put money on Leeds to win.
I know he fucking did a prick.
Because he messaged me and said, every time I bet on Leeds to win, they lose. So I put money on Leeds to win.
So
Blackburn would win. Oh, he's thrilled.
Yeah,
fucking
he's
wanker.
I do that. I'm tempted when Southampton go to Ellen Road, I might put 100 quid on Leeds to win.
That seems
That's
excessive.
fucking excessive, ain't it?
I mean, happy. At least if Southampton lose, then you're not going to be disappointed by it, are you?
See,
Exactly.
He's willing to piss 100 quid up the wall just so we lose, but Southampton fans are bitching because they got to pay 47 quid to go and watch it.
The thing is, though, I bet it ends 1-1
Yeah.
and then he's screwed both ways.
See, that's the one that's making me laugh.
Get them all.
Leeds are offered out to every team in the Championship. It's £20 for away tickets, but you got to reciprocate. Southampton were one of 3 teams, was it? I think it was 3 teams. Southampton won. No, we're not doing that. We're doing what we want. So we've got 47 quid, mate, and they're all bitching about it. It's like, you fucked yourselves. Piss off.
I mean, yeah, that's a fair point, to be honest.
I can understand where it comes from.
You know what it is? Again, because we take fucking huge numbers, the greedy clubs go, no, we're not going to go for 20 quid because we'll get 4,000 fans no matter how much you charge. So we'll charge an extortionate amount because we'll make the money. That's what it is.
Yeah,
bearing in mind we charge 30 quid.
It's like 50% though, isn't it? It's
but the thing is, to make the same amount of money, we got to charge them 47.
He's trying to say you don't travel well.
They might boycott it.
They fucking don't travel.
Then they might not get anything out of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that would help Saints if you need a win last game of the season.
No.
We're playing. No one
probably still play. But in fairness, yeah, should Leeds charge 47? No. Did they see it? Maybe they thought the £20 was too low. I believe it may have even gone down as long as 15. It was something they were talking about. You hear all these various
It was
ones.
flat 20.
So should they have done it? Yeah, they probably should have done.
I think that's a great thing, because they had a thing a little while ago, didn't they? Calling it 20's plenty.
That's it
for away fans.
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing.
Yeah,
because it only cost me 20 to get into Swindon when I took.
Yeah, and Leeds put it out there for everybody. And 3 clubs. I can't remember who they were. I just remember Southampton being one of them.
Yeah, Southampton were one of them.
Because they're the ones making the biggest fuss out of it now. They're making a huge fuss out of it.
No, I don't think a lot of it. Some of the fans are, but some of them accept the fact that it's their own club's own doing. Yeah. But it's not the fans that have screwed them over. It's the actual club that has screwed the fans over by not accepting the deal.
The club feel bad about it. They should subsidise the team.
Southampton have obviously gone along the lines of one of the cheapest away days, and they've charged 30 quid across the board. So obviously they
if everyone's gone for 20, they're not.
No,
I hate to bring it to you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like some of the clubs that have gone to Leeds, they've got a right bargain out of a game, which is absolutely where it should be at because the stadiums should be full.
Yeah.
Some of the clubs will have overpaid, but I suppose it would be interesting to see what.
If everyone by 3 has gone for this 20 is plenty thing, I'm going to go ahead and say that you're in the top 10% of most expensive away days.
No, we're one of the cheapest away days.
Not 30 quid, you're not, because everyone else is 20.
No, there's not many that are below. There's not many that are below. There's a list.
Because you just said that there was only 3 that have said no to this. Or is that just for Leeds?
That was just for us. We put it out there. I think it was like a negotiation thing. Teams would put it out there.
I don't understand why everyone just doesn't do it. It's 20 for away fans. I don't understand
because
the problem.
3 greedy teams want more money.
I suppose it's different for Leeds though, isn't it? Because you get so many fans all the time.
Mm-hmm. Again, that's what they've thought.
Although the Leeds fans are going, we have to pay 47 quid at home, so you can pay 40 quid away. 47 quid away. So
how much it is now for a Leeds ticket?
Depends
25 quid.
It depends where you sit.
Depends on the game. Depends where you sit.
25 quid I paid last time I went to Melon Road.
Yeah.
Put
it this way. I guarantee I bet you're paying 50 quid.
It wasn't quite that long.
Bet you're paying 50 quid. If you're on the halfway line at Leeds, I bet you're paying upwards of 50 quid.
Easy, mate.
You've got to remember, football, if you're at the Emirates,
expensive.
You're probably paying
£1,000
to sit at the halfway line.
Don't even get into the Emirates price. It's bloody hell.
Bloody hell, you go, Bayern Munich or Dortmund, it's like £10 a most expensive ticket or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Because they make no money. Ticket sales make nothing.
What I'd like to do, just before we go to a break, is I would like to bring up 2 things.
Okay.
One is a bit of a stat that I've got, which you would never have picked up in a million years anyway, so it's nothing to do with the actual Premier League itself. But honestly, I'd have played him today. That's for fucking damn sure. And one is what I've considered to be an unpopular opinion, but I want your I want your opinion as to tell me whether it's unpopular or whether I've got a point. So my stat is Arsenal have got a 16-year-old, only just 16, called Martin Obi, and he plays in the under-18s, and he's just hit 16. Right, so when he was 15, he was playing in the under-16s. Now he's played 15 games, assisted 2 goals in 15 games, and scored 25. Right now, at that, he's scored 15 goals in his last 5 games. He is unreal. I'd give him a shout above the fucking shout we've got in our team at the moment. Just give him a chance, because Noaneri came on when he was 15, and he held his own in the centre of midfield. So I'd put this like...
What's the guy look like? What's the guy look like?
What do you mean? What's he look like?
Like, is he well built? Has he got the muscles yet, or is he really skinny?
He looks like, to describe his physique, I would say he looks like Sean Wright-Phillips.
Because my worry is you put him in that men's game and he goes up against a big, tough centre-back, he's just going to get crunched. And then maybe protection of the player.
I'm going to go with a good example, Michael Owen. He has openly stated that he feels that his career later was hindered because of how early they pushed him in. Because you've got to think, he came into the Liverpool side, then made the England side, and he just kept going, and they kept pushing him.
I think it was hindered because of the amount of football they made.
Yeah, not
how early.
No.
But they just fucking
wouldn't. But they did it so early as well. No, what I'm saying is he was so young when he went into the Liverpool side.
Yeah, but Fabregas was 15 when he first played.
Yeah, but again,
he played.
Hear me out.
A break.
Yeah, but hear me out. Played. You had Wenger in charge then, and he nurtured him in. We've seen Arteta. He doesn't exactly know what he's fucking doing.
Not clear.
No.
So, are you willing to risk this young lad's career at the hands of Arteta, who thinks that Raya is a better keeper than Ramsdale?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, what I'm saying is that maybe it's not a bad thing, because the last thing you need is him to have a good performance and Arteta go, oh, here's our answer, just pummel him, because that's what you don't want.
Well, I said to him, I really hope that Odegaard was injured, which is why he come off, because Arsenal took off their leader, they had no leader, and then they conceded 2 goals. It made no sense to take Odegaard off unless he was
shocking decision.
There'll be a reason.
Right, my second point, and the what I feel is going to be an unpopular opinion, is, for me, Erling Haaland is one of the best goal scorers to walk the face of the earth. But he is a shit footballer. Because if he faces a half-decent defence, he's played Arsenal 3 times this season, he's not even had a shot. He played a decent defence the other day, didn't even have a shot. He is only good when he is through and facing the goal.
Well, he didn't.
As a footballer, the guy is League One at best. Maybe Championship.
No.
His running's funny as well.
As a footballer,
big and muscly.
as a goal scorer,
I'll tell you what,
he's elite.
No, I think he's a good player, because he reminds me, the way he runs and stuff like that, and he finishes.
Reminds me of Blackpool Beach.
And this is a really weird comparison. Reminds me a lot of Peter Crouch, that's a better footballer than people made him out to be. Because the way he ran and stuff was really odd, but he was one hell of a finisher.
I've just given a really insulting example of Haaland, and even I'm struggling with that. Peter Crouch.
How can you not?
Crouchy was actually
Peter Crouch has scored a lot of goals.
Yeah,
he is a fantastic player.
Right,
but you're comparing, like, Crouch was a good footballer. Haaland's shocking.
No,
I think that
I'm going to word it.
Haaland runs in a weird way and plays football in a weird way. That kind of Peter Crouch did, because he was so tall. He ran really strange and stuff.
I'm going to use an example for you that you'll relate to, because it's Leeds. Okay. Bielsa, when we came into the Premier League, ripped it up. We finished 9th in our first year. Mm-hmm. You look at our results leading up till January, we were defying everything. And then all of a sudden we dropped off. We could have probably made Europe if we'd carried on the trajectory that we were on in January. Problem was, people learned how we played. Mm-hmm. And this then followed on into the next season when we get smashed week in, week out. Does that make Bielsa a shit coach? No. What it makes is that realisation that people are starting to clock onto how you play, starting to learn your tricks, starting to do certain things. No different with Haaland. He does make these weird runs, but that's what creates space. The problem you've got now is he's never played in a league like the Premier League. Let's just put it straightforward, okay? Every league in the world is not as good as the Premier League. I don't care what anyone says. As a league, you'll probably have better teams in some of the other countries. You don't have a better league. The standard of the 20 teams in the Premier League is hands down better than the standard in any other league.
I would agree.
I'd agree with that.
With that, you've got some of the best defenders in the league. So, go on Sunday morning, you've played a team 5 times, you know their striker's the best player on the pitch. What do? You pick your best defender and go, mark him, don't let him fucking move.
Yeah.
All you've got now is Haaland's, they've started looking at Haaland. The analytics goes into a pre-game is unreal. Okay? So they'll be looking at everything Haaland does and they will drill it into these defenders. So what we're finding is Haaland's still scoring goals for fun, even when he's injured. Right?
I mean, you say that, but he hasn't scored many in the last 5 or 6
No, he
weeks
hasn't.
since
But
he's come back.
the point is, he had that free run last season. He started okay this season. He had his injury, came back, struggled with it. Then he started to look like he was going to score. But then he's played some good teams. All that's happening is these defenders who are almost as good as him or in that category with him have been told how to defend against him. So next season, he'll probably learn a new way and he'll find a different way. So it's just him adapting. All it is
we'll see next season.
Here's an example.
Because my counter argument to that would be people knew how Van Nistelrooy played, still couldn't fucking stop him. People knew how Henry played, still couldn't fucking stop him. People knew exactly what Bergkamp was going to do. No one could fucking stop him. Scholes couldn't stop him. Dwight York, Andy Cole, Alan Shearer. Everyone knew exactly what Shearer was going to do. Try stopping the fucker.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Haaland's
Erling
a quality
Haaland's
goal scorer.
job
He's a
is
shit
to
footballer.
put the ball in the back of the net.
No,
He's still
Haaland's
doing
job is to get into a position where he can put the
And he
ball in the
does.
back of the net.
And he does.
And he's not doing that at the moment.
He's
because
a top
he's not
scorer.
even had a shot on. Yeah,
He's
but
a top scorer and he's
that's
been
from
injured.
the first 6 months of the season.
Yeah.
Recently, he's done nothing. He should have nearly 30 goals now. But he's done nothing for weeks.
Some players, so there's a manager out there, so it's Alex Ferguson, one of the greatest things, and he was going and he used to play
One of the
players.
greatest things. I bet he's never been described as that before, has he?
Okay.
Go on for it.
Okay, so, and he made a comment.
Named it this week.
Messi won the Champions League for Barcelona against Man United. And Ferguson come out and said, yeah, that was my fault because I didn't tell Ji-sung Park to stick to Messi for the entire game. Because that's what he knew Ji-sung Park would do. Is just run around and stick to a player. And in a lot of games, so he
was
would
good at
probably...
that as well, you know.
Yeah, he was. It's something that you don't notice because it's off the ball stuff. So a lot of the time the TV don't show it. So if Ferguson was still there now and Ji-sung Park was still playing and they were playing Man City, he'd probably be going, you follow Kevin De Bruyne around the pitch, don't let him do anything. That would be all Ji-sung Park would do.
Look at the return game, AC Milan versus Liverpool, when everyone was going on, oh, we cheated them. I mean, we did them in Istanbul, we'll do it again. And then Gattuso went, Gerrard, I'm your friend for the rest of the game. And Gerrard did fuck all for the entire game because Gattuso basically put him in his pocket and just went, yeah, this is my midfield.
Isn't that what happened in the World Cup final in '66 as well? Bobby Moore got told to Mark Beckenbauer, and Beckenbauer got told to Bobby Moore, and they basically just stood talking for the entire 90 minutes while everyone else played the final out. I'm sure there's something like that.
So you probably play Man City and you'd be like to your centre back, you'd be like one of you stay on Haaland the entire game. Don't let him do that.
People were told that about Henry and Van Nistelrooy and Dwight York and Alan Shearer, but they still managed to get the goals. Haaland is not getting the goals right now.
Bet you the games that they didn't score in though.
Of course, there was games that they didn't score in.
Do you know that Henry? I think there was a stat where it said that Henry never scored in a final.
Never.
So he never turned up for the big game.
No, and I agree with that.
And that's exactly what they're saying about Haaland. He doesn't turn up for a big game.
Now.
Might be true.
So that's kind of your statement.
But one last
thing
thing on that though. On the games that Haaland's quiet, and I'm going to say quiet in a clever way here, don't players like Foden and De Bruyne and Grealish become more prominent because he takes them, he puts them into the game. He's got a good assist with them. He moves with them. He creates space for them. So you don't always have to put the ball in the back of the net, or you just being there can change the game. So sometimes,
Perhaps.
how many times have you seen a player just step aside and the defender's got, I've got to mark him, he's my man to mark, and just create a giant gap?
I've seen Raya do it twice today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, we're going to go for a break and we shall see you very shortly. Hello and welcome back from the break. Going to go very quickly into our predictions game because it really shouldn't take very long to whip through it. So what we had last week was Leeds Blackburn, Saints Watford, and Arsenal Villa. Now I'm going to run through it very quickly because they were all pretty painful games. Yours was painful even though you won. So
I suppose it was double because I was on for 3 points because I said 2-2.
Oh yeah,
and then we scored in the 99th minute.
Was it 99? Crazy. Right, so Leeds Blackburn, it ended Leeds 0, Blackburn 1. I said it'd be 2-2. You said 2-0 Leeds. You said 3-0 Leeds, as you normally do. Darryl said 2-1 Blackburn, I think just to fuck with you, but he ended up getting a point out of it anyway. Jay said Leeds and Max said Leeds, so Darryl's the only one that got a point out of that. So well done, Darryl. Saints v Watford finished Saints 3, Watford 2, and as you've just mentioned, you said 2-2.
We all said draws.
Minute. Yeah, I said 1-1, Tin said 1-1. Max, Jay, and Darryl all said Saints would win, but didn't get the result right, so they all got a point each. Arsenal versus Villa. Tin was the only one that said Villa would win.
And we stopped him from changing his fucking mind as well. You stopped him from changing his mind.
Oh, when you were going to change it to 1-1 or something?
I was considering it, yeah.
And I said,
Because you said, go with your head.
But to be fair, I was right.
Yeah.
So you're welcome, Tin Ridge. I don't have to worry about it because he's too far away from me. He's catching you.
No, he's overtopped me.
Has he? Well, let's go to the leaderboard then before we go into what we're going to do next week. So leaderboard stands as it is right now. Jay is at the foot of the table with 31 points. Next is you with 35 points. Next we have Tin Ribs with 36. And then we have Max with 36, but obviously it's more correct results. In second is me with 44 because I didn't score any points this week. And in the lead now, in the clear lead now, is Darryl with 46. We were even last week. We are no longer even this week. So that's just a very quick rundown. So what we're going to do this week is because Leeds aren't playing within the next 7 days, they're actually playing in 8 days.
Right.
So we're going to go for Tim Ribs has voted to do the Macclesfield game. And just on this point, very quickly, I would like to say that one more point and Mac have secured playoffs.
I think it's pretty much dead cert.
I think they're guaranteed the playoffs now. We are in second. We have still got games in hand.
Because we went to Stafford being a local team. You did Stafford a favour by beating Banbury 3-1. Basford.
Yeah. Banbury
somewhere else.
Yeah.
They'd be in the Southern League.
Yeah, because they are down south.
Yeah. Oxford way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Basford, sorry. Which would have been great for Stafford had they not lost 1-0 to bottom of the table.
Yeah, that didn't really go very well for Stafford.
I would say Stafford are in big trouble because I think the last 2 games or 3 games.
They won the last 2.
No, they've won some. I mean, the last 2 games, they've only 2 games left of the season.
Yeah.
Are quite tough playoff contenders.
I think they're going to struggle. So Tin Ribs has decided, so we're not going to do the Leeds game because we're going to be doing another pod before that kicks in. So Tin has voted to have the Macclesfield game part of this week's predictions as opposed to the Leeds. So we're going to go Macclesfield at home versus Workington, and I'm not sure where they are in the league, I'll be honest with you.
Not me, so I'm just going to go 3-0 Mac.
Of course you are.
It's Tin's team, 3-0.
It's the usual Leeds. So
they replace Leeds. So to put it into context for you, they're 50th.
I'm going to join you. I'm going to go 3-0 Mac. Because I think they've got what it takes.
I'm going to go 2-0.
You're going to go 2-0 Workington. Okay. That's fine. And we'll ask the other 3 as soon as we get a chance. Right. So, I mean, you can send one out now.
Yeah.
Matt,
I could, but he's a bellend, so.
oh yeah, Sports Blackburn, and Blackburn beat you because he put money on Leeds to win, which I think is hilarious. Cardiff Saints, I'm going to let you go last, so I'll go first, and I will say that's going to be a hard-fought 2-1 win to Saints.
1-1.
1-1. How many are Cardiff going to beat you by? Very
2-1.
loud. That thinking is very loud.
2-1
to
Cardiff.
You do normally go against Saints just because it's there. But then you piss and moan at your bottom of the league.
I don't care. I'd rather... right now,
right.
I'm changing my tune now, so I'll just say at this point, because I've said it off camera. So on camera, there's a couple reasons why I want us to get promoted now. So Sky Sports, it's the championship running who's going to get promoted, and they're only showing 3 teams now. Southampton are not part of the Sky Sports plan.
JimJam has said, I don't care if I lose the league, that means your punishment's going to be worse now.
Yeah, so I'd love it if Southampton won it, because the fact that we're off the infographics and everything, even on the ITV football show, they went, these are the teams competing for automatic promotion, and they showed the Leeds game. And then they started off, the next line was contending for the playoffs. We'll start with Southampton. So we're not even guaranteed the playoffs, even though we are guaranteed the playoffs already. So we're not contending. We're already there. But we're really out the title picture to them, Sky Sports, everything, all the infographic. We're going under the radar. Love it.
Yeah, but that was just last year.
Yeah.
When we were 17 points adrift, we were the ones that everyone was just like, oh, they're out of it.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that Leeds got relegated last year.
I think he's on about 2020, the first half of this season.
I don't mean season.
Yeah.
Year.
Yeah.
Football works in seasons.
But I knew where he was
in December.
About.
Yeah, but in December. Yeah, but in December, Leicester had won the league, and Leeds were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. But right now, if we win our next 2 games, we will be at level on points with Leeds. We will not be far off Ipswich and Leicester. We then play Leicester. By the time we play Leicester, we could be overtaking Leicester. They only have to drop. If we win all our remaining games, we're not guaranteed automatic promotion. It's not in our hands yet. We do rely on other results still. But all it takes is one more slip up from Leicester, and slipping up against us, mind you. So we've got to draw a game and lose to us, or 2. We're right in contention still. Because we've got 2 games in hand. Now, I'd rather have points on the board, as we know I've said that before, because we played Preston midweek. But if we beat Preston midweek, wow. And then if we win that game against Cardiff, which I really hope we do, but a typical Southampton thing is
I really
to lose
hope
one
we
of them
do.
games.
We're going to lose 2-1. You just told us you're going to lose 2-1.
Yeah. But 3 points there. I'll take 3 points there. But I'd rather now that. Because
I'm not
the
sure
other
what
reason,
he means by I'll take 3. Does he mean he'll take 3 points in the predictions game?
Yeah.
Either. I just don't want to draw. A draw, I will be pissed off.
It's pointless then.
Yeah.
Because you get no points here and you get no help in the league.
Yeah. Okay. And I really want us to sign Taylor Hartwood-Bellis.
Yeah, you want to get promoted for that.
And that's a guarantee if we're in the Premiership, but not a guarantee if we're not. So, and he seems to care about the club.
I hope he hates you. Right. The next game is Wolves at home versus Arsenal. And I'm honestly thinking about putting 4-0 Wolves the way we played today.
Well, I was about to say, you look so toothless at the moment. It's ridiculous.
We are. We've got less bite right now than in Wurzel Gummidge. It's just... I can't understand how somebody that's meant to be as intelligent as Arteta is meant to be sees Zinchenko as a left back, sees Jesus as a striker, and sees Flappy Bird as anything other than somebody that should be pushed off a fucking cliff. I don't understand. I honestly, I can't understand his way of thinking. You've got Declan Rice and Saka and Trossard running their knackers off. And even Havertz was tracking back today, working their balls off. For Raya to sit on his arse, for Zinchenko to not know what part of the pitch he's meant to be fucking standing on, and for Jesus to just chase the ball like honestly, it's like me fucking throwing the ball for one of my dogs. Because he'll launch after it, and then when he's got it, he's like, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, we've talked about Villa. Wolves game. Score.
3-0 Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
3-0 Wolves.
Wow.
Because Arsenal shit. And Raya's going to be in nets. They're guaranteed at least 2.
See, he's just said that, and I was thinking 1-1 draw, but now I might have to go 2.
That's what you think. Go with your first one. Go with your first one.
1-1.
Right, so I'm going Arsenal win. Now I'm thinking...
Fucking off your head.
I'm going to go 4-0 Arsenal.
Fucking hell.
I mean, have you injected something before you came here tonight?
Wolves are struggling.
You've just watched that game with me.
Yeah, but I've watched some Wolves as well.
They're both toothless.
Fucking
That's the point. They're both
Jesus.
toothless.
I think, when you said the Palace, Arsenal were on a bit of a poor form and they went and spanked Palace, I think you're going to do a spanking of Wolves. I nearly said 5-0. I think it's one of them where I think you might just rip them and let loose.
I'm going to have to clip that and put it on a Wolves site.
Very quickly, they're currently doing the EFL awards. Archie Gray has just won the young player of the season.
Of course he has. Brilliant. It's a superb player.
I can tell you he's not winning anything, Southampton, because no players were nominated.
No,
even though Adam Armstrong
weird,
is the most scored, is like second in the top scorers and like second in the assists and got the most goal contributions. He's not even considered.
I think that's a little bit weird actually, because I think he's been brilliant.
Now I'm trying to figure out if this is nominations only or if it's the winners in order. But if it's the winners in order, Somerville's just one player, championship player. Smodic second, with Drewsbury Hall third.
Yeah.
But that might be just the...
I think that's the way it was nominated.
It says winners and nominees, and Archie Gray's top there.
It probably has.
And then
Archie Gray should have won it, to be honest. And Somerville's not exactly been bad, has he?
No, he's not been bad.
Have you not watched the last 2 games?
I don't get how...
Yeah, we're on about the season, though.
I don't get how Adam Armstrong's nowhere near that list.
It's weird, isn't it?
It is really strange.
But then, to be fair, how many players in the Championship have actually had a really good season? Because I think
there are a lot.
Isn't the Blackburn strikers well up there as well?
You know what I thought was disrespectful? Plymouth beat Leicester and Harry Winks got man of the match for Leicester. It's like, how the hell does a Leicester player get a man of the match when
weird, isn't it?
It's like,
I mean, unless it's the
lazy
keeper that's made like 20 saves and still conceded 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, then you accept it, but
yeah,
bit weird.
Bit weird. So, just in the break, we made you watch the clip, and that was Stokes' disallowed goal against Swansea.
Right. So for them that haven't seen it, I'll try and put the clip on, but I don't want it to get blocked on YouTube. For those that haven't seen it, what's happened basically is there's who is it? Stoke keeper, is it?
No, the Swansea keeper's got the ball.
Right.
He's gone to throw the ball out, and he's running with the ball.
Yes.
And the Stoke player's on the ground, and he's stood up, and as he's going to throw the ball, he's hit the back of the Stoke player's head.
No, because that describes, for me, that describes it wrong. Right?
How does it? That's
because you said he's hit him on the back of the head. I don't think that's what's happened. Right? What's happened is the keeper's come out, the Swansea keeper's come out, and as he's drawn his arm back to throw the ball out, what's happened is the Stoke striker's then stood up, and he's hit the ball as he stood up, But then the Swansea keeper shouldn't be throwing it anywhere near that Stoke player. So for me, he's not interfered. It's not a foul. It's not obstruction. He's just standing up.
I think the keeper's made a mistake. He's run towards the Stoke player. The Stoke player stood up, hit the ball, and then put the ball in the back of the net.
That's a perfectly legitimate goal. That shouldn't be disallowed.
The rules of interpretation say that the keeper, because he had two hands on the ball, he was in control.
He didn't have two hands on the ball. Because at the point of contact,
he had a palm on it, he had control.
At the point of contact, he was drawing the ball back with one arm to throw it as the guy stood. The rules say he was in control of the ball. Keeper error should be got. No,
I think that was a keeper error. I think that's a goal.
Yeah.
Now we've got a goalkeeper on our punditry, so it'd be interesting to see what his take is.
The two things that I'll give you about Tinwood's opinion is, one, Tin would never attempt to throw a ball that near to an opponent anyway, unless he was specifically trying to throw it in somebody's face, which I have seen before.
Yeah.
And two, I'm not sure the goalkeepers' union is going to stand on this one. I think.
So he's got no spatial awareness.
Agreed.
Watching the Stoke player, he's not done it intentionally. So it's not like he's lay there, he's waited, and then stood up.
No, he's looking at the floor.
He's actually just getting up. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to go with he hasn't got full control. It's only in one hand.
Thank you.
And
totally agree.
It should stand.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
That's
what I think.
I agree with that.
It's a complete blunder. It's an absolute blunder. His coach will be absolute tearing.
The ref.
I'm surprised he hasn't kicked him.
And it's the ref that's given it, so it's not like it's a VAR decision after and it loads.
No,
the ref has decided.
Again, this is the whole thing.
He had control.
We have that beautiful thing that we can see that the Stoke forward hasn't just waited and got up; he's just stood up conveniently at the exact moment.
Because we're watching a replay, a slow replay of it.
Does the ref see him just getting up, or does the ref see him all of a sudden knocking it out of his hands and then think, hang on a minute,
he's made the decision without seeing it?
But he can't see it because he hasn't got.
I don't know what angle. Yeah.
So unfortunately, I'm going to side with the ref on this one, which is a bit weird because I've given such a tongue lashing about refs lately. But
he hasn't, has he?
Yeah.
He's been having a go at refs.
But it's like the way I see it is, just looking at it, he does stand up and his head comes into contact. So if the ref's literally just seen him stand up and head the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, maybe. So I can understand that, but I think it's very frustrating to have that goal ruled out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely a keeper error. It's just a shocking
It's keeper error, and he's got away with it. A bit like when Roy Carroll dragged the ball halfway from inside his own goal. He got away with it.
Some of the things
you know what I mean? It's just one of those. They got away with it.
Yeah.
He's a lucky boy. But it is a complete and total error. Be more aware of your surroundings.
So there was another game. So we briefly spoke upon Wolves. So Forest, Gibbs White scored a goal. And he celebrated in front of the Wolves fans. Kind of like a silence. Now, I know when Wolves scored their equaliser, they did the same celebration because they're good friends. Cunha and Gibbs White were friends anyway, and he said they were friends in the interviews after. But Gibbs White gets a lot of stick from Wolves, and seeing some stuff on Facebook, they've said some right nasty stuff about him. They're very angry.
Do you know what bugs me about the Gibbs White thing? As far as I'm aware, he wanted to stay. He didn't want to leave Wolves.
No.
They wanted rid of him.
Yeah.
So, and do you know the only reason the Wolves fans are annoyed now is because he's better than what they've got.
Yeah. But they're very angry that he celebrated. They're calling him all sorts of names under the sun. Stuff that I'm not even going to say on this because probably gets banned. Some of the stuff that they're saying about... It's not racist, but they're like questioning his life choices in like a criminal kind of way. They're really being really nasty about him as a person. Basically calling him an arrogant twat and stuff like that, and worse stuff.
Well, he's just enjoying his fun. I honestly, this annoys me now.
If you get booed, if you get no reaction, I'm all for players not celebrating against the former teams and that sort of stuff. But if the fans are on the back booing and stuff like that, I'm sorry. If a player scores against you, you deserve what? what you get.
I agree.
And if they're giving him shit, which I believe have been giving him shit for quite a number of seasons now, even going back to Sheffield United days and that. So he probably wanted to score to be like, and I think it was kind of like a shut up now kind of celebration, I reckon.
I would agree.
But it was kind of a bit of shithousery. It was kind of Jamie Vardy stuff that you love to kind of see.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think the fans should get off his back. He didn't want to leave anyway. You're having a go at a player that wanted to stay at Wolves.
Yeah.
He's a Wolves fan.
He'd never go back now.
Oh, not a chance. Not a chance. But then that's because now the club and the fans have treated him badly.
Yeah.
If it was just the club, he probably would because of the fans and the connection that he got with the fans. But once the fans,
it wasn't like it was Adebayor like running the whole length of the pitch to celebrate.
That was out of order.
Yeah. That was like pure like vindictive, whereas
the most annoying
he kind
thing
of was right by the Wolves fans.
I didn't even like Adebayor when he was at Arsenal, so when he left and then did that, it was even worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and fans are going to be fans and they're going to be bellends, and you know, there's not a lot you can do about that. But for me, Gibbs White is a fantastic footballer, and I'd rather have him over Havertz, to be fair. I think he's great.
No, what I found out as well. Craig Bellamy's assistant manager at Burnley.
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't know that. It was only because he was doing the interview after the game.
I've seen him screaming and shouting on the sidelines a few times.
No, I didn't notice until this game, because obviously I saw the keeper howler, which we mentioned a little bit earlier, which was Andy obviously made a mistake the game before against Everton as well.
You've seen how bad Burnley are playing this season, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well,
they dropped the keeper, James Trafford.
You can take the man out of the Wales squad, but you can't take the Wales squad out of the man. And he's dragged it wholly and solely into Burnley, and he's dragging them straight back into the Championship.
Yeah, but
so you can play your lot when your lot get screwed out of the promotion.
But his error against Everton and his error against Brighton this week, this goalkeeper, you know, them 4 points,
I think
would have made a huge difference to Burnley.
I agree, but I think the amount of errors that keeper's made, I think he'd be number one at Arsenal next season.
Didn't play 4 games or something like that.
Doesn't matter. That's what Arteta seems to like. Errors.
Bad times for them.
Should be good.
James Maddison should have been sent off as well. I know we spoke about it a little bit.
Yeah, we've sort of touched on this earlier, but like I said to you at the time, and you haven't heard this, Tim, but I was listening to TalkSport this morning when I took Daisy, my 4-year-old daughter, I took to the park this morning because the weather was actually nice for a change. But TalkSport on the way, and one of the presenters was saying, I really like Madison. I think he's a really, really nice lad. I think he's quite genuine and quite a sweet lad. Is that why he doesn't get sent off? Because that guy gets away with murder, literal murder on a football pitch, and he never seems to get booked. Because he had, week out with 3 yellow card events that should have taken place during that game.
So he made a block and blatantly blocked the player on a run, didn't get booked for it, which you can half understand a little bit.
But it's a yellow in this day and age. Most players get booked.
But then he got fouled and he got dragged back.
Yeah.
Something similar to what he did to the opponent.
Yeah.
Then he went at the referee, questioning him, basically saying
for
him to be booked and he should be more penalised, which is a bookable offence.
Yellow card
and then he kung fu'd the new player in the back with a poorly timed challenge, which in some games players get sent off for that.
Yeah, straight red.
But it was called reckless, did he say?
Something along them lines.
Reckless, not a red card, I don't think. I don't think reckless class as a red card. I think it's got to be endangering a player as the red offence. Yeah, reckless is yellow.
I think it was a red card, personally.
I don't think it would be appealed if it would have been a red. I think he was very lucky to be on the pitch at the end of the game.
Very lucky.
I do think, though, that, yes, him being a nice guy and maybe not being in trouble does get you something. For example, players that are renowned divers don't get as many fouls. Players who are renowned dirty players get booked very easily.
I agree.
I think
I think reputation precedes
Absolutely,
some footballers.
as much as
I don't think it makes a difference.
And this isn't, again, I don't want to push this one in the category of days bashing refs again. I'm putting this out there in the sense of, I think that it doesn't matter how unbiased you try to be, if you know, for example, you're going up against, I don't know, just who's a renowned Salah. If Salah falls over in the area, he's sort of, in your head, you're going
50-50.
You know what I mean? Your brain's going, he goes down easy, he does dive.
Yeah.
I need to keep perspective here, so I'm just going to rule that he's dived.
Yeah, if you're reffing James Milner.
Yeah. And then James Milner goes down. I've never seen that guy dive. And that's the way it is. And
so it's less ref bashing and more sort of human nature.
Well, yeah, because if you know someone is commonly conning the ref, they're conning the ref all the time. I mean, like Villa fans always try to defend Grealish, and I can't understand why. I had a Villa fan once try to defend. Oh, he doesn't dive, and then I literally within 3 minutes sent him 5 videos or like GIFs of him not even getting touched and flying through the air. 5 within minutes. He does. He goes down so fucking easy. It's ridiculous. So if you know that player goes down a lot, it's not necessarily being biased, but in your head, you've got to be prepared for that. This guy cons you a lot. Okay, so you go out there, you see him fall over. You've got to then go, is he conning me or is he genuine? So then all of a sudden, you're going to start getting it where they're either going to get more fouls because they're a con artist and the refs bottled it, or they're going to get less. And I'd say that's where Saka's coming in at the moment. Because Saka goes down so fucking easily, all of a sudden he's not getting anything. And I think it's because the refs have gone, you know what, you're floundering around all the time. I don't know, I don't believe you now. Fuck off.
I'm actually okay with it because I agree.
No, I think we said that earlier. Saka goes down too easily. Was it Jesus or was it Trossard? I think it was Trossard went down very easily in the first half, and it was like,
so
wow, what are you doing?
So bad. Yeah.
But the referee bottled a lot in that game as well because players were Martinelli running down the left, but didn't even touch the player.
You should
and he went
see
down.
It. Martinelli and
he said he watched it. He probably did see
Konza, when they were running down the left.
Yeah.
And Martinelli, it's one of Martinelli's first events, and he sort of knocked the ball past and then
put his hand on his stomach as he went past.
Yeah.
And Konza just hit the floor and they give it, and we're like, how the hell is he giving a free kick for that? It was like,
it was like
barely touched him.
Yeah.
And yet that's a free kick.
It's got everything against Arsenal. If an Arsenal player was doing any tugging, Villa were getting everything.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, we still shouldn't have lost that game. But then we shouldn't be playing David Raya either. So you get what you pay for.
But yeah, so that was. And I suppose the other thing that's come up this week is semi-automatic offsides.
Where that going for a minute. Comfortable in talking about his semi.
Essentially sat there like that.
Semi.
May have to move.
That bubble
Semi-automated offsides or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Worked great in the World Cup.
Yeah, all for it. It's a thing that the managers didn't want in the Premier League this season.
And now they want
rejected it. Now they want it. I imagine Klopp's one that voted for it.
No, I'd probably say they didn't want it last season because no one had seen it in action. No one knew if it was going to be any good. And they were already having lots of problems with VAR. Then the problem you've got is, and I'm going to word it in sample. So whenever you do a test, you have to do a sample. So with the Premier League, you've got, 8 games a week? 10. Is it 10 games?
20 teams.
Yeah, so 10 games, right? So you've got your 10 games every week. That's a large sample size. If it starts going wrong, you've got too much to go with. The World Cup, it's a very small sample, but you get to see the overall picture. That was smack bang in the middle of last season. Smack bang in the middle. So these managers are probably thinking, do we want to be the guinea pigs? Because we're already having a shit time with VAR. Do we want to have an even shitter time with something that's untested, untrialed? Half a season in, we get to see it. It worked. Okay. Then we come out the other end. Yeah, we want it. And I just think that's what it is. I think they've been seen. And there's another league. I think another league's now using it. Is it Italian league?
I think it is Italian.
I think Serie A's using it now. So obviously you've got that sample pool. So you've got the World Cup. You've got Serie A for most of the league. We've seen that it works.
You know what's going to happen though, don't you, boys? You're basically just going to be watching FIFA games soon.
Yeah, did you see how Arsenal have that bloody game camera?
No, TNT. Isn't it?
No, Sky Sports. I was watching on
No,
Sky Sports.
You are
Sky
Are
Sports.
you on about the Champions League?
No, the Arsenal game today. They had. You could go on the red button and watch a camera called the game camera, which basically follows it as if it's a fucking game of FIFA.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
No, because we weren't.
No,
They actually made a point of it
pressing
at
the button.
half time. At half time, they mentioned the
Oh
camera.
right. No, didn't notice that.
You're effectively soon going to be watching FIFA because it's all going to be automated.
Yeah.
No, I said something earlier, and it was a time limit, and I said, goes to VAR. We've got 2 minutes to make a decision. If we can't make that decision within 2 minutes, the on-field decision counts.
But then we go back to the problem of referees not making.
And then I thought that could potentially let the referees know that thinking, okay, my decision's actually going to count in 2 minutes if it's a close one. I need to actually make a decision and be the right one.
Yeah, but this
so it might enforce them to make more right decisions.
This semi-assisted has reduced his offside decisions by up to 31 seconds. That's massive.
Yeah.
They're also now discussing the idea because you know the guy who came up with all his technologies openly blasted it and said it's his worst thing he's ever done.
Oh right.
They're actually they're looking at now at having VAR specialists. So you won't have referees doing it anymore. You're gonna have proper specialists, which I'm actually more for.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we let's look at it this way. You've got a 4-year-old who's better with her phone than I am with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So technology waits for no one. Okay? The fact of the matter is, a lot of these decisions are taking so fucking long because how many times have we said, just draw the fucking lines? Just draw the fucking lines. Why are you discussing it? Why are you looking at the camera? Draw the fucking lines. Because you've got 50-year-old blokes in the fucking room going, I don't know what I'm fucking doing. So they're trying to look at it normally, how they would perceive it on a pitch.
And then draw the lines.
And then go, how do we draw those fucking lines? If you've got a kid who literally goes, right, it's offside. Is it offside? Bang, bang, there's your lines. No, it's offside. It's going to get better. They're going to. I think they desperately need to start getting people who their whole job is VAR. They don't go out on the pitch. They don't go out on doing line-o or fourth official or any of that. Their sole job is VAR. That's it.
Do you support a football team? No. Great. You don't care about Liverpool. You don't care about.
To be honest, I'm not asked whether they support them or not.
They just can't support the team.
I want consistency in there as well, not knowing that, because I believe that the game is more corrupt now than it ever has been. I think VAR still make biased decisions based on the bigger team, who they want the decision to be.
I would agree. I would agree. Right, we've whittled away enough time now, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it then, and we will reconvene next week to have more bitching and moaning, and no doubt me slagging off Raya, you slagging off referees, and you telling me that Leeds are going to win 3-0.
So, I didn't say that this week. Thank you
because
very
we
much.
didn't go to the Leeds game, so we swapped it for Mac, and you said Mac would win 3-0.
I know. Get your stats right, though.
Still went 3-0.
Yeah.
It's technically the Leeds game, though. It's their spot. But yeah. Right, so we shall see you next week.